if we can get everything set up without knocking anything over. I think we're gonna get that. There goes my crooked head again. Every time I look into this camera, all I see is my crooked head. What's going on? Welcome back to Thursday night Top 5 Baits live Q&A. Just general talk of debauchery. Not really debauchery. We're just talking fishing. That's all we're doing. Of course, we can talk about other stuff. All you guys got to do is ask. Random Skills is the first one on the board tonight. We sure appreciate you. C-Box says, giddy up. Let's get him, son. Patrick Conley, Big John's Life. Tom Lowe, what's going on, everybody? Nick Cavazos. Billy Curley. It's a great first name, sir. So yesterday was interesting. Let's go right off into YLFG Storytime and start us off tonight. So yesterday was a fun day. It was an interesting day. It was a filming day, so you guys will get to see it next week as it unfolded. The contest winner for the trip to fish with myself and Captain Ron. Captain Ron. We went fishing with our contest winner, Mr. Zane, yesterday. We caught some really nice fish. We had a pretty good day fishing. We caught them right on the first spot we stopped, found them on the graph, found them on the electronics, and just went to whacking on them right off the bat. So that was awesome in and of itself. And I don't want to give it away, but there may or may not have been a haircut involved. There may have been a challenge laid down between myself and Captain Ron, and there may or may not have been a haircut involved. So I'm just saying, you might want to check it out. Fishing the Midwest, what's up? Missed the last few, man. Hey, we've missed you, sir. We appreciate you joining us tonight. Man, guys, I don't know if you've been keeping up what's going on in the world of fishing or just in, as far as the Mother Nature, the elements, what's going on this year. We've had very much similar water temps for so long. It's kind of been stagnated. We'll get little pods of the offshore fishing going on, but we can't get the big schools. Well, hey, it is finally starting to get to a point where I'm starting to see bigger and bigger schools all the time now. Kind of my personal self-proclamation, prediction, whatever you might want to call it. Excuse me for just a second here. Let me go that way with that. Okay. There we go. With this water staying cooler longer and these fish kind of getting delayed on when they actually get grouped up in real big schools, and the water temps are going to be cooler, I think the month of July is going to be amazing. We're going to have way below average water temps in July. We're going to have kind of June water temps in July. A little bit of May water temps still, really. In July, I think that July is going to be an amazing, amazing fishing month. Now, here's the beauty for all of you guys. For me, I think I've got 3 days left right at the very end of July that you guys can book. And I'd love to have you. So if you're interested, please do contact us at yourlakefortguide.com. Typically, July, there's a whole lot of really, really outstanding Lake Fork guides that will have openings in July. Most guys don't fill up the whole month of July. There's a lot of really good ones out there. Captain Ron's got some July openings for Lake Fork. And guys, I'm telling you, it's going to be amazing fishing. There's going to be some unbelievable fishing to be had in July this year. The lakes are going to be less crowded because they always are in July, but the fishing's going to be better. I would highly, like I said, I've only got a few days left, so I'm not plugging myself here. Like, I'm not trying to sell my own trips here, but if you do want to get out on a trip, you can contact us at yourlakefortguide.com, and we will set you up with a guide. We'll talk to you, see what you want out of the trip, find the guide that best suits your needs, and try to get you lined up with him. Reach out to us, yourlakefortguide.com, or the phone number that's on there as well. Just contact us through that website. So, highly suggest that. Let's talk about the baits we're using. It's the offshore fishing, man. The offshore fishing has become my deal this year. I don't know why. I normally mix in a lot more. I do know why. It's because of all the rain and a lot of the shallow water areas that I like to lead on in the summertime kind of getting blown out with dirty water a little bit. So, yeah, I'm doing all offshore fishing. So we'll talk about Offshore Base. First and foremost, you guys know what my number one pick is. Right now, my number one pick, this is probably my number one pick at least through August. Big Perm, Plum Apple. We've switched off the green pumpkin. We're over on Plum Apple. Plum Apple seems to be the best color. They do still buy green pumpkin. You can still catch them on like watermelon red, goat melon, watermelon seed. Depending on your water clarity, depending on what's going on your individual lake, any of those colors can work. But Big Perm on the big 5/8 ounce 6 cents Divine Shake 'em Head is my number one pick right now. It's my number one draft pick. We're a couple months out from football. It's time to start thinking about football a little bit now. I'm just telling y'all. A couple months out from football, I'm telling you, that's my number one pick right there. My number two pick, by the way, if you want some of those shake heads at 6centsfishing.com, when you go to 6centsfishing.com, be sure you punch in the code Your Lake For It Guide. You'll get a 10% discount on all orders. So, right there, the bubble fry, that's number two. Carolina rig, bubble fry has been my best bait. You can throw impact shad on that Carolina rig. You can throw big brush hog on that Carolina rig. The bubble fry to me, when you get into the hot summertime, that's the deal right there. All right. Oh, yeah. I almost forgot. Don't worry, folks. We shouldn't have any signal problems tonight. I brought the antenna in here. My number three pick is right over here. Ronnie Kelly refers to it as the old Swarming Hornet, but it's the Divine Underspin Head with a Smash Tech Hollow Belly on there. Now, I will tell you, I've been throwing the chartreuse shad color, not pearl flash, but we've been catching a bunch of fish on the chartreuse shad, and we ran out of those, so I had pearl flash left, so that's what we've got. If you'll take a close look at the head of this here bait, you'll see some paint missing. I don't know how well it'll show up on this phone camera, but there's a lot of teeth marks on there as well. This sucker's been getting some bites for us, boys. I'm just going to go and tell you right now, that thing has been getting quite a few bites. Been catching some really quality fish. And we're going to get more into that on the channel next week. These deep water swim bait fishing with these jig head type setups. So that is the half ounce. I'm using the half ounce jig head, and I'm using the 4.5 inch Smash Tech Hollow Belly on that Little Holly. Little Holly, as we affectionately refer to her as. Number 4, 3/4 ounce 6 cents Divine Hybrid Jig. This is Speckled Crawl. This is a new color. I really like this color called Speckled Crawl. The deal is, I wanted to show you this color. For me, the better color, the color I'm actually getting bid on, is Crawfish Drone right now. But I wanted to show you guys that new color because this is a color that I absolutely will be throwing a bunch, and I like it a lot. It's called Speckled Crawl. Green pumpkin, same thing on my Crawfish Drone, Crawfish Drone color that I'm using. Green pumpkin Smash Crawl by Smash Tech for the trailer. And the number 5 pick is my antenna, my radio signal. Right there, this guy. Citrus Shad, 6 cents, Cloud 9 Series C25. That's my 5th pick right there. Not getting a lot of bites on this for me. I know Captain's still throwing it. Captain Ron, he's still catching cranking fish because he just never stops cranking. But for me, not getting a lot of bites on this, but I am still getting a few, so it's still hanging in there to the top 5. The biffle bug could probably be added in here too as well. That's about the only other bait I'm really throwing with any consistency. And on the jig head, it doesn't have to be an underspin. We are getting bit on the ones without the blades underneath them, just the straight Divine swim bait jig head with the same exact swim bait on it. So half ounce as well. All right, I've seen some stuff about Mike Long. You guys are wanting to know my opinion on Mike Long. If you don't know, for those of you watching that don't know, Mike Long has long time been considered one of the best big bass, trophy bass fishermen on earth. Turns out it was all a lie. Apparently he was transplanting fish from one lake to another, then claiming it as a record, and he was cheating in tournaments, and he had a fish tank in his garage that he kept fishing, and then he weighed those fish in tournaments somehow. I don't know how he got them. I don't know. I didn't read the 18-page article or whatever it was, but it's bad. Like, it's bad. I did see some of the video clips where this guy was straight going around just snagging fish off beds, and I mean, there's just so much. Here's what I'll tell you guys. I've made mistakes in my fishing career. People get hungry, they want to do things. I made a mistake early on in my fishing career when I was within the first couple months of when I started guiding, when I still had my other job and I was guiding as well, had my two full-time or part-time job. Um, I had a customer I fished a day and a half with. Helped him set up his electronics on the second day. That half day ended around noon, somewhere around the middle of the day. I leave him in the parking lot at Oak Ridge Marina. I literally tied baits onto his rod. Now, the day before when we were fishing, I had a really giant 10 plus pound looking fish follow a glide bait to the boat on the corner of a pond dam. And he asked me where I thought he should go for the rest of the day. I said, well, man, I'm not fishing, dude. Just go back to that pond dam when we were catching a few fish and where we saw that giant and fish real slow and thorough, use that glide bait, use a wacky worm, literally tied baits on his rods for him. Said, go throw these baits on this spot. And I left. And I'm headed down the road. I didn't even get from Oak Ridge Marina. I wasn't even through Quitman, Texas. And if you know, that's the very next town. It's like 5-6 miles down the road. And this guy is calling me and texting me and sending me pics of a 10.46 pound bass that he just caught on that spot with those baits. I talked to a guide friend of mine at the time, and I asked him, man, what should I do? Like this guy was giving me full credit for the fish. He's like, yeah, man, use the picture however you want to, promote it however you want to. It's all you. I would have never caught, like he even said, I would have never caught this fish without you. Well, this other guide buddy of mine, he's like, God dang, man, them 10 pounders, that's a big deal. And you just starting out, that's a big deal. Like, you need to promote that fish. He's like, man, just say you were in the guy's boat with him. Because you were. Like, I was in the guy's boat that morning helping him set up his electronics. I just had gotten out of his boat 10-15 minutes before this happened. So that's how I did it. Well, it turns out there was another guy on Lake Fork that was in the cove when that guy caught it, where he caught it, saw it all go down, called me out for lying about being in the boat with the guy. And I immediately messaged this man, apologized to the other guy, and said, you're right, I was completely wrong. I should have never done it like that. Deleted all the posts that I had posted about that fish because it was a lie, and I realized I made a mistake. I say all that to say I'm hesitant to judge others. I get judged a lot. We all get judged a lot. Me being on YouTube and being out in front as much as I am, I get judged. I feel like maybe a little bit more than some others just because I'm out in front of everybody a little bit more. Like people see me more, so I get judged a little more. So I'm really hesitant to judge others. It's easy to make mistakes. I understand. That was a huge mistake I made. And I promised myself that day two things. One, I would never listen to anybody else's advice. I would make up my own decisions about how I run my business. Two, I would never lie. I'm just not going to lie. So, that's where I'm at on that. Mike Long, though, that being said, as understanding as I try to be about people making mistakes, that's really bad. Like, that's a lot. Like, if it was one thing, it'd be like, okay. Like, maybe if he falsified some records, like, that would be really bad. But it'd be like, okay, he shouldn't have done that. Like, he could maybe someday come back from that, prove himself, go catch some big fish legitimately, prove it, blah, blah, blah. Cheating in tournaments, that's pretty unforgivable because you're taking other people's money. That's a pretty hard one to swallow. Golly, when you add like everything up together, it's really bad. Like he doesn't deserve to bass fish anymore. I mean, I don't know. It's not my place to judge, but god dang, there's a lot of stuff there, and it's pretty well laid out. A lot of evidence involved, a lot of proof. It's kind of hard to argue. So, I know there's been some questions. I went on a long rant, but that was a big topic. Tupperware Captain Ben, you've changed your name. Tupperware Captain, because you ride in the kayak. I get it. I love it. I fully approve. That's great. The Tupperware Captain Ben Show is in the house tonight. We appreciate him. I'm trying to answer Q&A, but you guys are dropping so many comments in here, I can't even I can't get back up to the questions. When am I gonna do a video with any of the Guggen Squad? I've done a bunch of videos with the Guggen Squad. I guess you want to know when I'm gonna do it again. I don't know. Whenever they call me and want to go, and we can get the schedules lined up. The hard problem is now they've gotten so big and so busy, and honestly, my guide business has gotten so busy that it's a lot harder now for us to get our schedules aligned than it used to be. I used to do a lot more videos with them, but it's hard to get those schedules lined up now. We fished once. I fished with Rob for one day. We fished one day with those guys this year. Lunker, Stevie, and me went out for a day on Fork. Had a decent day. We caught some good fish. Just about a half day. That was all we could get in. So I don't know. I don't know. The answer to that question is I don't know. Thought you were gonna move the Texas A&M flag in. I totally forgot. That totally slipped my mind. I was supposed to move in the saw 'em off Texas A&M flag because we got goobers like Marcus Fowler talking about hook 'em horns in the comments, and we can't be having all that. When am I coming down to Conroe? Man, I need to come down to Conroe. That's like my home. I don't know when I'm coming down to Conroe. I don't know the answers to any of y'all's questions. I'm coming down to Conroe as soon as I get a chance, man. The schedule is just crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. What was my day job? I bet you're glad that's over. I was in the sales department, and more specifically in sales management for a big beer distributor out here in East Texas. Was the last job I held when I started guiding. Chase Clark says golf pro. Yes, I was a golf pro as well at one time. I was an assistant golf professional at one of the golf courses out here, and Chase Clark worked with me there. He was one of the guys that kind of helped us out and worked the shop and worked the carts and did all that stuff. So, yep, I've done a lot of things in my life. I've worn a lot of hats, you might say. Have I ever fished a big Smash Tech Felon? The 10-inch Smash Tech Felon. I have one in my garage. I'm kind of scared to throw it. That thing, dude, a 10-inch swim so big. Man, I don't know. I've just never fished it. We catch such big fish on those 6 and 7-inch baits around here that I don't know. It just don't really seem like a real specific reason to throw a 10-inch bait and eliminate bites potentially. Like, we catch giants on these 6 and 7-inch baits. So I don't really see the reason. What color crankbaits for bright blue skies? What color for cloudy days? That's honestly the thing that I love about citrus shad, that I've always loved about citrus shad, is I can take that crankbait right there on any conditions, any light conditions, any watercolor conditions. I can throw that crankbait right there. Two things I like, or one of the big things I like, is it's universal. This works in clear, dirty water. It works in bright, cloudy days. The other thing that I like is this right here. See this hard stripe right here? When that crankbait is doing its thing, it rolls a little bit. And if you're a fish that's looking at it from the bottom, watch what you see. And I'm not doing it very well, but you kind of see that color flash. Now, if you look at it from the top, what you see? A lot of my crankbaits that I throw will be two-toned. I'll have a dark top and a light bottom, or vice versa, whatever. It'll just be I just want that bait to flash that color at them when it's wiggling. I think that's a big deal, having a good break in your tones from top to bottom of your crankbaits. That's one of the reasons I don't throw a lot of translucent baits. Now, Captain Ron is a much more experienced crankbait fisher than me. He loves Ghost Pro Blue, which is a very translucent color, and I know he throws it in clear water, sunny days, stuff like that. He throws Chartreuse Blueback. Now, Chartreuse Blueback definitely is a hard example of that two-tone deal that flashes that color a lot. That's just kind of a thing that I always look for in crankbaits, and I don't know. I believe it works, so for me, it works. Do you think weekend fishermen overthink setups and rigs and spots like I do when it's really simple? Well, it's not really simple. I don't know that you overthink it. I think if you're overthinking it, that means that you care and you're trying and you want to understand and you're trying to learn. And I think that's a good thing. I was that guy. I still am that guy. I tend to overthink it a lot. No, man, there's the more setups you can have that are specific for specific techniques, the better that it can make that technique perform for you. That's the better off you are as a fisherman. As far as spots, overthinking spots, yes, you guys overthink spots. There's patterns. There's types of spots. It, there's some stuff. Sometimes it's like, yeah, this spot continually holds fish, consistently holds fish. There's not magic spots. That's what we do with the Fish Life app is we put spots on there that are working right now with the full intention of you not only fishing that spot, but fishing that spot, educating yourself on that spot, and then duplicating that on other spots. It's not about a magic spot. Yeah, people do overthink spots. It's good to have a starting point, and I think that's what we do with the Fish Life app. We let you know what type of areas the fish are biting, what type of baits the fish are biting, what type of structure is there, all that stuff. It's a point, it's a hump, it's a bridge, it's a grass flat, it's a creek channel swing, whatever it may be. We kind of clue you into what's going on right now and what to look for, but that doesn't mean that you should only fish that one waypoint. Like, there's a lot of that stuff all over these lakes. You could theoretically subscribe to Lake Fork on Fish Life and it be successful for you on Bob Sandlin. That very well could work because you know what the current patterns are, you know what the current types of structure the fish are relating to, and those things will set up similarly from lake to from one lake to another, where you have similar depth and structure features in the same region where you have the same weather patterns. Do you think you've ever caught the same fish twice out of all those years on Fork? Possibly. I've had some big fish come off and the only time I would say that is I've had some big fish come off of literally the same exact bed they were on the year before. Like, they bedded in the same exact spot, and it was a really similar looking fish in the pictures, and it was really similar size. I think that was possibly the same fish, but I have no way of knowing. What is your best game plan / strategy when the lake is white capping? Do you still fish deep? The wind is driving me bananas. Well, the wind hasn't been bad here the last couple days, really. I mean, there's been some wind, but it's not been crazy. And today there was almost no wind at all most of the day. When it gets to a point, and I think it's a personal deal. I know Ronnie, Captain Ron, he'll stay out a little bit bigger waves and bigger wind on the main lake offshore than I will. I'll stay out there when the waves are crashing over the bow a little bit, but if it's like ridiculous where they're rolling down the front deck, then I bail. I just go fish shallow. I look on my map. I look for areas that are protected from the wind. I suck it up. I get in that bad to the bone Skeeter FX and I run through it fairly comfortably considering what that boat will do. And I get somewhere where I'm protected that I feel like I have a chance to catch fish shallow. Hopefully there's some grass around. That's what I look for first and all that stuff. But it's a very rare case where wind is going to stop me from fishing Lake Fork. And it's a pretty rare case where wind is going to stop me from fishing the main lake. It's got to be blowing really hard. Jared Carson says he bought the Lou's Tournament MB reels and can't beat them for the money. That is just real talk, folks. That's just true. Seeing any thermocline coming through yet? Nope, not yet. Not seeing any thermocline. If it is, it's so deep, it's deeper than what I'm looking at. So I haven't seen any thermocline that's affecting the fishing in any way just yet. Guys, the water's still in the lower half of the 80s. The water temp is still in the lower half of the 80s on Lake Fork. So if you were throwing a 3.8 Kitech or similar bait, what pound line would you throw it on? It depends on the cover I'm fishing it in. I've thrown it on 20-pound line. I've thrown it on 15-pound line. That's kind of my range. I wouldn't throw it on anything less or more than that. I have thrown it on 20-pound line. I think 17 is the right choice for that bait. A 3-aught hook and a 3.8 Kitech. I think 17-pound line is the correct choice. But when I have heavy cover, I will step it up. And when it's open water, I can tie it on lighter line and it doesn't bother me. So Jared Carson says, also broke down and bought the Minn Kota Ultrex. You need a Your Lake 4 Guy discount code for that. Dog, I wish that I had the Your Lake 4 Guy discount code for the Minn Kota Ultrex myself. Like, for me. Because I don't get that discount. Like, if you can figure that, like, maybe you can get us a Jared Carson discount code. Because I'll use it. I promise I will. 15-pound floral braid on the 3.8 Kitech with the 3/0 belly weighted hook. We are talking about fluorocarbon. I'm losing my signal. I gotta get my antenna back. Hold on. We lost our signal, folks. We gotta get our antenna back on. Fluorocarbon on the 3.8 Kitech is the line that I'm using. What weight for the 3.8 Kitech? Well, it's just a belly weighted hook. It's a 3/0 hook. I don't even know what weight that is. They all come in the same size, like an 1/8 ounce or something. It's not very much. Mike Martinez says, calm down, everyone. I'm here. Had an emergency at McDonald's. I don't want to know anything about or to do with your emergency from McDonald's. Do any stores sell Smash Tech baits? Only have found them at Fun and Some Boat Show. Well, the one place you can find them is Tackle Warehouse. You can always find them at tacklewarehouse.com. But the stores around Lake Fork do. Now, I don't know about other retail stores. I know Brandon's Bass Shop carries them in Paris. I think Anglers Pro Tackle carries them. I know that Lake Fork Marina, Oak Ridge, all the marinas around Lake Fork carry them. So, are we going to sell any hats or do we? We don't yet. What do you guys think? You guys want to see hats? And do you want them to be your Lake Fork Guide hats? Or do you want them to be Fish Life hats? Or do you want some of both? We're open to selling hats. If you guys want hats, we will order some hats and get them all designed up and ready to go. Both on the hats. Fish Life. Am I going to ICAST or will I be represented? Nope, I'm not going to ICAST. No plans for ICAST. Neck buff. Y'all want neck gaiters too? What y'all think about my crankbait antenna? It works pretty good. The signal's holding up real good. If we have Fish Life hats, do you guys want us to include the crankbait antenna on the bill? That's, I think, maybe the more important question. When are y'all opening a store on the lake? Man, I'd just like to get some product in a store on the lake, let alone open one. How about that? Am I ever going to get the Lawrence Live? Yeah, I'm probably going to get Lawrence Live on my next boat. Which, if anybody wants to buy a sweet Batman-looking skeeter, hit me up. DM me on the Instagram at Your Lake Fork Guide. Hit me up at yourlake4guide.com. Seriously, if anybody's interested in buying my boat, I am willing to sell it towards the end of summer if somebody wants it. Hit me up. The crankbait antenna is a must on the hat. Somebody said they want caps and chartreuse. We need them Your Lake Fork Guide shirts with Fish Life and PFG. Wait a minute, hold on. We're working on stuff. I promise, guys. We are working on stuff. It just takes time sometimes. Am I going to be talking to the kids at Camp Bass? I certainly can. I can certainly talk to the kids at Camp Bass. Somebody said, somebody kick Marcus Fowler out of this chat room. YouTube, whoever has authority, ban Marcus Fowler with his hook 'em horns. Tell me to put Longhorn logos on my hat. It's not ever going to happen. Is Dak Prescott worth a major contract? Not until he gets some better coaching. I don't know. I don't know about Dak Prescott, man. The jury's out on Dak for me. I love that you done messed up and got me talking about football now, Jack. I'm just going to tell you, you done messed up. You're going to get me distracted. I think Dak Prescott needs a lot of coaching. I think, man, he got put into a weird situation where he had a team that kind of, instead of the quarterback carrying the team kind of carried the quarterback. And then as the offensive line went through some issues, he got exposed a little bit, and now he's kind of in too deep to back out now. Man, I'm not all that excited if Dak Prescott is the Dak Prescott that I know right now. If he's my quarterback for the next 10 years, I'm not real happy about it. Like, I'm not like, woohoo, yay, go Dak Prescott. Somebody said to put Roll Tide. I'm not putting any of y'all stinking college logos on my hats ever. You can buy my hat and then like put your own patch on there or something. I don't know. Camp Bastards, July 22nd through 26th this year. I need to mark that down. I will mark that down, and we need to make sure that we're there. Michael Sims talking about taking somebody to school at fantasy football. Michael Sims, boy, I won more fantasy football championships by the age of 5 years old than you've played in leagues in your entire life. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Am I getting a new boat? If I can sell this one, sure. Why not? Herodias on both accounts, says ZW. If you don't know Wedding Crashers, one of my favorite movies of all time. ZW, my boy Zach Watts is over there quoting Wedding Crashers. Boomer Sooner. God dang, it's like college rivalry week. Pat, Mr. Holmes, who we need from old White House. Yeah, Pat Mahomes is a really good player. Oh, yeah. And he's on my fantasy football team because this is a keeper league. And yes, I got Pat Mahomes. Who's going to win AOY? Who is even fishing on FLW? I don't even know. What do you throw when the grass is up to 2 feet and 13 feet of water? I mean, anything you want. I don't know what you want me to tell you there. So you got 2 foot of grass and 13 foot of water. I mean, I think something like this, count it down and fish right over the top of it would be really effective. I personally think that would work really well. I think a rattle trap, like a 3/4 ounce rattle trap, like all the way down in there, that rip it out and just try to keep it on top of it and tick it every once in a while. I think that will work really well. I mean, just whatever you fishing grass at that depth, that you can get to that depth, I think it would be really good. Where can I find some big perms? I know Heath. I stopped by Heath's house the other day. He was working on a huge order for Tackle Warehouse that was going out. He's working on Lake Fork Marine order. So, big perms should be back in stock in some places soon. Keep checking Tackle Warehouse. If you're coming by Lake Fork, check Lake Fork Marina. Those orders are all coming soon. What kind of deep cover are you looking at most out deep? Rock, brush piles, etc., timber, whatever. I'm not paying attention to cover at all. I only pay attention to the structure. Whatever cover is there just happens to be a bonus. So I don't even need cover to be on some of these spots for them to be good. I only pay attention to the structure. And right now we're getting to kind of that time of year where, we were focused on super long main lake points. It's kind of all starting to play right now. I'm just looking for a depth zone that the fish are relating to on that day, and then I'm running every piece of structure that I can run with my electronics, looking for schools of fish. Whatever I can find in that depth zone where that structure kind of peaks around that depth zone, I'm looking at everything I can in that range, and then I just don't stop till I see fish on my graph that look like we can catch them. Don't forget, that's a great Fish Life Outdoor Adventures. My boy ZW says, don't forget about the glide bait over that deep grass. That is a great point. Glide bait has big drawing power. Big grass flats hold lots of fish. You need something to draw them in. Glide bait might be my number one choice in that situation, actually. East Texas Sonar in Longview has some big perm in stock. East Texas Sonar in Longview has big perm. Michael Sims, you just created issue for East Texas Sonar because they're going to have people like, sprinting to their door tomorrow when they open. So. My front depth finder is out. Do I really need it to get on fish offshore? You don't need it to get on fish. You do need it to stay on fish. Unfortunately, yes, you do. It's very important. Holy cow, look how long we've been going. Man, good live show tonight, man. Thank all you guys for joining us tonight. I hope I answered enough questions. Kind of got distracted, got a little sidetracked, got a little Mike Long, got a little footballed. But it's okay. Because we're just here to talk, have a good time. Hope everybody catches more and bigger fish this weekend. Just get out there, guys. It's good and getting better. It's good and getting better. Listen, SRA is not out to get us, despite what some of you may heard in some other places. SRA is not out to tear us fishermen down and play tricks on us or anything like that. The gates are open or not, just get on them electronics and go find them fish. They might move, just go find them and catch them. It's that time of year. They have to eat as this water gets warmer. If you can locate the groups of fish, you absolutely can catch their butts right now. So, it's only going to get better from here as the water starts to heat up. We think of it like this. Water temperature wise, we are in mid-May, boys. Think about that. It's getting better. It's going to be real good in July. So, that's a rare situation. Get out there and enjoy it. We'll keep bringing you everything we can to help you any way we can. We certainly appreciate all the support you guys give us and our sponsors as well. And be sure and check those out. SmashTechBase.com, SixCentsFishing.com, Lou's Fishing, Amphibia Eye Gear. If you need some of that, you can find it at YourLakeFortGuide.com, where you can also find guide trips. We'll quit plugging and say that we'll see you guys next time right here on Your Lake Fort Guide.